Hey guys, welcome back to a new Battlefield 6, or however the next Battlefield game will be called, video. We got some more leaks from data mines today, or last night actually. We have Vanek again right here, which is I think the go-to data miner right now for the new Battlefield game. And he writes that the client was updated yesterday, and apparently the Turkmenistan map, a more specific location that is called Balkanabad. It's still unclear if it's campaign related or maybe a map for the live service. But Vanek also posted this map right here, so this is from Google Maps, and this is what the region Balkanabad looks like. And moving on, I think we have the most interesting part of the current leaks, which are the Battlefield 6 characters. We already knew, or we already know, that there won't be specialists again, so this was completely scrapped for the new Battlefield game, which is good I think. But apparently we will also not get nameless soldiers like we had in all former games. And now it seems like we're also getting characters with background info and with a biography and with names, and they have descriptions like with over a decade of cross-continent experience, SSG Hawk is the definition of a leader. Just a short description of a soldier like you would expect it in a Battlefield game or in a shooter game. And right now we have 8 of those that have a description, but from the full overview of everything that Vanek has data mined, we know that there are 24 characters in sum. So these are the 8 that you've seen before with the names and with their descriptions, but there are a lot more that only have a code name so far. So maybe characters that could come 2 seasons in the live service, maybe they're not completely done yet, maybe they're just sketches and we will never see them. Maybe we'll see all of those 24 characters, maybe not. But all of those characters have first person and third person data, they have voice lines for multiplayer, they have individual icons and are part of the player customization options. And Vanek has also done this neat little table here comparing the Battlefield 6 characters to the Battlefield 2042 specialists and the Battlefield 5 elites. And it seems like even though those characters sound a lot like the Battlefield 5 elites, there is still a lot of differences. And it seems like DICE used the Battlefield 5 elites as a foundation and as a base for those new characters and built upon it, but also kicked out all of the things they did wrong with the specialists in 2042. So the characters have a unique name and biography, just like they had in 2042 and Battlefield 5 as well. They can use different cosmetics, so that's where they're different to the elites in Battlefield 5, but they're also class locked and they are faction locked, which I think is important. I mean, the specialists were also class locked, at least after the class system was introduced in Season 3, but they were never faction locked. And this was pretty cool in Battlefield 5 because the elites were faction locked, so you could not shoot a copy of yourself in the other team, which was something that was terrible I think in Battlefield 2042 when you played as McKay and then you shot a lot of other McKays in the enemy team. So apparently they kicked this out for Battlefield 6. They also don't have unique abilities like the specialists had in 2042, so this was kicked out as well. So that's what I meant. They definitely learned from the mistakes they made in Battlefield 2042. Moving on, we also learned a bit more about weapon customization, which I think is pretty interesting as well. So there are packages, customization, and favorites. And for packages, it says weapons packages are unique instances of a selected weapon. So it sounds a bit like a blueprint or maybe just a specific setup for a weapon. Modify how a package plays using attachments. Attachments unlock per weapon as you play with its packages and improve mastery. So I think packages is just a different name for your weapon setup, and you can actually choose this specific package and then, for example, mark it as a favorite, because that's what it says here for favorites. Mark a package as a favorite for easy access. Then for customization, it says equipping attachments costs points. So that sounds like the Call of Duty pick 5 or pick 10 system, and each package has a limited budget. So you can only equip a certain amount of attachments and then your budget is used up, and then you have to remove some if you want to use a different attachment or a new attachment. You can also customize the looks of a package to your liking with various cosmetics. I don't think this is surprising to anyone that there will be cosmetics in the game. We can also see examples for skins for the M4A1 down here, but I think that these will be pretty much the base skins, so I don't think that this is what we will get only in the game. I think they will get a lot more expansive and a lot more colorful throughout the live service. And then it also says for customization, find unique packages by progressing or by visiting the store or from our recommendation system. So apparently you will be able to unlock these packages from the store as well. And I think DICE needs to be really careful with this, because these packages need to be very well balanced, otherwise people will cry pay to win, understandably of course. So I'm always a bit skeptical about something like this when you can buy weapon packages with attachments in the store. If it works like Call of Duty, I think they should really be careful with this, and these packages from the store have to be really well balanced. And then we have the favorites again. So what I said before, mark a package as favorite for easy access, and then favorites are also used in your custom weapon drop crate in Granite, so the Battle Royale map. So you can probably only get favorites, or you have to mark your package as favorite to be able to get this from a drop crate in Battle Royale. There was also a new weapon found in the new playtesting files, which is called the Mini Fix. I'm not sure this is really the final name, to be honest, and it will be a bolt action rifle, so a sniper rifle with a 10-round magazine, and then the DP12, an action double barrel shotgun, a pump action double barrel shotgun, also received new data like models and textures. So that's what we can see right here. Then it seems like we got a little name change for Portal, because it says Battlefield Builder now, and the description is pretty much the same as the, I think, Portal web editor, what it's called right now. So it will still be called Portal, obviously, because the link is still the same as it is right now, but it's called Battlefield Builder now, and before it was Portal web editor. And I think Battlefield Builder sounds a bit nicer. But what's actually interesting is that we also got a new option, or we will also get a new option, which is called Host Locally. So that's probably what you can do with your own experiences. And it says start hosting this experience locally and offline with your selected options. And it basically brings back offline PvE games. So if you don't want to play online, or if you have a shitty internet connection, or your internet is gone for 3 days, you can still play the game, or you can at least play your own experiences locally on your PC, and you don't have to go online for this. And then we have a few more random things that Vanik has come up with, and this is a bit more description for Gauntlet, but it's actually not different from what we had before. But we also got a bit more random things for the Battle Royale mode, and besides survive and be the last team standing to win, which is I think the most typical thing for Battle Royale, it also says complete missions to earn rewards and unlock field upgrades. So it seems like the field specs or field upgrades that we've seen in the multiplayer mode, or in the leaks for the multiplayer mode, will be available in Battle Royale as well, and will be unlocked through completing missions. And then it says an interactive spectator hub is in your AO, marked as interactive spectator hub on your minimap. Stand near it to capture it and give your team new tools to gain information on the battlefield. So this sounds like you can capture objectives and then maybe get a UAV or something, so you can uncover enemies close by. At least that's what it sounds like to me. And what's also interesting is that there will be a vehicle access card that you have to pick up to gain access to a powerful combat vehicle. Probably has something to do with those missions that were mentioned on top here, because I think you will have to do something to earn these vehicles. I don't think they will just give them away for free. Then we got a bit more description of the Dumbo map, so the Brooklyn, New York map, and the golf cart, and then something we can probably pick from the options, which is called anonymous mode. And this might be interesting for content creators specifically and for streamers, because when set to on, your profile name will appear different to all other players on the server. Players will not be able to see your actual profile name in Battlefield. And in addition to this, there will also be a simplified squad list, which I think is also mostly interesting for streamers and content creators that are also recording gameplay and putting it online. And this says a simplified squad list will hide the player names and shorten the health and armor bars. So whoever is in your squad cannot be seen in your squad, which I think is useful as well. And just as I was about to finish this video, we got a new post, an official post about destruction and the philosophy around destruction and how it will affect gameplay, and also a bit of feedback and what they learned from the playtest so far. So we're gonna go through this as well. I try to be as fast as possible so this video is not getting longer than necessary. Our goals for destruction are centered around adding further gameplay depth by allowing you to reshape the environment and transform your surroundings toward a tactical advantage. For example, barging through walls to surprise your enemies. We've already seen this in one of the leaks. We now get a hammer that allows you to basically break through walls, which actually looks really cool. Reshaping the battlefield to create new paths into the capture zones, or taking down a building to take out an attacking squad. So like I said, we've already seen this in the leaks. You can not tear down whole buildings, at least not from what we've seen so far, but you can break walls, you can tear down the front of buildings and so on, and basically destroy cover that someone could hide behind. So definitely a lot more destruction than we ever had in Battlefield 2042. Then they're saying we're designing destruction around easily identifiable visual and audio language that lets you understand what can be destroyed, altered, or transformed through gameplay. So this didn't really come out with the leaks or with the leaked gameplay, that there is kind of a visual or an audio language, but I think you have to play it to understand what it sounds like and what it feels like or what it looks like. So let's take walls as an example of the new destruction language. Once a wall takes enough damage from an explosion, a small impact, such as bullets, will also contribute to its destruction, allowing you to shoot your way through the wall. Audio visual effects will help you not only see but also hear whether your attacks are successful. That sounds really good. Different surface types now also visually degrade before breaking down through persistent surface damage. Buildings apple core as they start to break down, leaving their core exposed as destroyed parts create rubble and debris on the ground around it. I think I've already mentioned that before. We've seen it in the leaks as well, that the debris and the rubble go down and that they're actually building up on the ground and create new cover from this. And here's also a little example that they added, which I think is probably the same city that we've seen in the teaser before already. So Abbasid, the one set in Cairo, and here we can see that soldier is firing with a rocket launcher at the building, and like I said, the whole front of the building is coming down and the debris is building up, and then inside of the building you have damage as well, and someone broke through a wall here and it opens new ways. But they also say be careful in how you use destruction to your advantage, as one advantage to you would also be an advantage to the enemy, and this exposed flooring could now be used by them to counter this new route. And then we have feedback and validation, so what they learned so far from the Battlefield Labs playtests. So they're writing our goals for initial Battlefield Labs play sessions, so the past ones, were to test server performance, gunplay and movement, and for participants to get an initial understanding of what's next for Battlefield, and for everyone else of us through the leaks. Participants have now played through multiple sessions and offered up thousands of pieces of feedback. This is good to hear, definitely. We encountered some initial issues with server stability and performance. I mean, that's what play sessions are for, of course, which provided valuable data for us to adjust their configurations. We've already seen that follow-up play sessions offered a smoother gameplay experience for participants, and that we are on the right track to start scaling further testing with more participants in the future. So for everyone who was not accepted to Battlefield Labs yet, which I think are a lot of people, There will be more testing and more participants in the future. That's good news, I think. We've learned that while gunplay feels in a good spot, there's further balancing to be done to the different weapon archetypes and their damage values. Feedback on movement suggests that we need to continue iterating on finding the right balance in speed, namely for functionality like crouch, sprint, combat rolling, vaulting, and more. I think there was a lot of feedback to this also on Reddit from what I read over there. Loads of discussions around movement, so I think they got a lot of feedback there. And lastly, as we move our focus back to destruction, we have seen feedback around the balancing of destructible objects across the map and fine-tuning of damage levels of surfaces. Destruction will be an ongoing topic within our play sessions, and we'll continue to test these and other areas of destruction throughout upcoming play sessions. So it sounds like the future play sessions or the next few play sessions will be mainly around destruction and how it affects gameplay. And that was it for today. Pretty long video this time, was a bit unexpected with a blog post, but tell me what you think about this in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.